How many new marriages end in tragedies? Far too many, if you ask us. Most women who married with so much hope in their hearts and dreams of a loving, stable, married life are found lying dead with gunshot injuries or trauma wounds that snuff the lives out of their vulnerable bodies. Intimate partner or domestic violence is real, and women continue to bear the brunt every day. Apart from the victims, the families, especially the children of women killed in domestic violence assaults, are left alone, with no support. This is what happened to Alicia Lofton, a beautiful woman and a mother of 3 children, who was shot dead by her husband in August 2023 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. She had married 42-year-old Marcus Lofton just 6 months back in February of this year. So what happened? Why did a marriage that started so beautifully lead to this ghastly murder? Let's take you through this story of love, blood, and gore. Before we start, like and subscribe to this channel so we can keep on bringing you more true crime stories like this. Alicia was a loved mother and a loved member of her community. Alicia had consistently excelled academically and was working as a licensed cosmetologist and medical assistant at Spectrum Health. She was in her late 30s at the time of this incident. What people who knew her remember the most about her is that she laughed a lot, enjoyed dressing her hair up in vibrant hair colors, and always dressed stylishly. There was a magnetic force that attracted people to her, as she loved to enjoy life to the fullest. Undoubtedly, Alicia was a helpful, kind, and sparkling woman who loved helping others. Anyone who knew her liked her almost instinctively because of her warm vibe. She had 3 children, a son and 2 daughters. Her life revolved around her kids and her job. But there was a gaping hole in her life that had been plaguing her for some time. She wanted to marry and make someone as good a wife as she was a mother. When Alicia met 42-year-old Marcus, she felt that he was the one. They married in February 2023. Things were good for a few months. They sang songs and made videos that they posted on social media. It definitely seemed that they were blissfully happy together, and that Alicia had met the man of her dreams. Marcus seemed truly like her man, but the good times were not supposed to last, and they didn't. Alicia's nightmare began soon. Marcus already had some bad rep, and Alicia had disregarded that, like all women who are in love sometimes do. This was going to come to bite this otherwise gutsy woman. It certainly didn't take for the charming, handsome man she had married to reveal his true colors. There were no more singing together in the Lofton home. There was only shouting and screaming. This predictably led to another felony charge against Marcus, this time for domestic violence in May 23rd. Marcus was arrested and released on the condition that he would physically stay away from his wife and not contact her by phone or otherwise. There was also something very twisted about this story. Just a few days into their marriage, Marcus started posting weird videos on social media. They usually featured him with his male friends together. The tone and the text alerted Alicia to something more insidious. She started thinking whether Marcus was having multiple affairs with men. Was Marcus gay? Alicia got some evidence to this effect, and she filed for a divorce from her lying, cheating, abusive husband of just a few months. She did confront him about the evidence, but he coolly said that there was no truth in the allegations. Alicia vented about her feelings on her Facebook page, which has since been deactivated. She served the divorce papers to Marcus Lofton just a day before the day she was fatally shot in her head and torso multiple times on August 17, 2023. She also told him she was selling her house. Marcus drove down to Alicia's house on this fateful day in the evening. They had a loud argument. The neighbors heard them shouting and screaming. After some time, the neighbors heard multiple gunshot sounds, and they saw a man rushing away in a maroon parked SUV. This was the end of Alicia's life. She had been shot multiple times with her own gun. The Loftons had shot a video on a better day with this gun tucked into her leggings. The police were called to Alicia Lofton's home by a neighbor. He also reported that he heard loud arguing followed by multiple gunshots, and then saw a man get into a parked maroon SUV and drive away. On arrival, the police found Alicia's lifeless body lying in a pool of blood next to the home she so cherished. Nothing could be done for her. Her children would now have to spend their lives alone without their mother's presence. The police went to Marcus Lofton's listed address and detained him for murdering his wife. Marcus Lofton confessed to killing his wife, Alicia. He said that when he and Alicia were arguing, he took her pistol, also the murder weapon, out of a drawer to strike her with it. He used to hit her with the gun regularly whenever they argued, he said. But what happened that fateful day was that the gun went off. Alicia ran into her bedroom and locked herself in. Enraged and out of his wits, Marcus broke down the bedroom door and saw Alicia trying to escape through a window. He then fired indiscriminately at his injured wife in her head and torso and killed her on the spot. Marcus could have decided to walk away, but he didn't. He could have not fired at Alicia, but he did. The man acted like the cold-blooded murderer that he was and is. He continues to be in jail after having pleaded not guilty to the murder charge, awaiting trial. Alicia's family wants to focus on the children. They want justice for their daughter, but even more, they want their daughter's kids to have secured futures. They have initiated a GoFundMe to raise money for Alicia's 3 kids and have raised $6,400 so far. The fund will help the kids complete their education. Alicia's eldest, a girl, is 22 years old, her son is 19, and the younger daughter is just 14 and in high school. While Alicia's elder daughter is in the final year of college, her son is about to start college. What is really sad about this death is that it was preventable. Marcus had many choices. He could have agreed to the divorce and kept on having relationships with other men, or he could have walked away but chose not to. This is the most distressing part. He could kill his wife with so little thought. Maybe he wanted to enjoy the comfort of his wife's home and could not bear for his free lifestyle to end. We don't know yet, but we may in the coming trial. What is more than just a bit perplexing is the fact that none of the newspapers commented on his relationships with other men. We don't know much about who Marcus was, what he did for a living, and who were his parents. All we know about him is that he has a mean mouth and that he called himself a narcissist. A narcissist is a person who is bothered only about himself. He is not affected by anyone else's pain. But he feels a great deal of pain where he is involved. Marcus proved himself to be the ultimate narcissist once and forever. And what we have as a result of this ultimate act of narcissism is that the person who was a good professional and a guiding light in her community is dead. The whole community still remembers Alicia Lofton as an extraordinarily unique person who left an unshakable mark on the lives of the people she met and interacted with. Those who knew her count themselves as fortunate. What the Alicia murder case does is it spotlights the tragedy of domestic violence. It also brings to the fore the need for caution and due diligence on the part of unsuspecting women before allowing any man to enter their lives. Marcus was not doing great in life, he was in fact a layabout, but Alicia decided to go ahead with the marriage. We don't want to victim shame, but women must be made aware of the red flags in relationships so they don't become victims to killers masquerading as loving husbands or boyfriends. This incident also shows the impact of domestic violence. Alicia's life was cruelly cut short, and it has left her 3 kids orphaned and steeped the entire community into sorrow. What should be done to stop such incidents from recurring is to amplify awareness about domestic violence and intimate partner violence. We also need to be a more caring society to stop such crimes. Neighbors should be more proactive in preventing domestic violence cases. Only then can the most vulnerable be able to live without fear. This would be the best thing we can do to commemorate Alicia's legacy of love by working tirelessly to birth a future where domestic violence is wiped out forever. If you have liked this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel.